He defied everyone to change everything. Let's talk about A Complete Unknown. As with this film, it is a musical biopic directed by James Mangold, as it is about a young Bob Dylan in 1960s New York who is destined to change the course of American music. And with how this film is, I'm not gonna lie, I thought it was pretty good, but I do think it could have been better. But with the cast, I thought that the cast was great for the most part. Timothy Chalamet, he plays Bob Dylan in this, and I thought he was pretty good in the role. Not my favorite Timothy Chalamet's performance, but I thought he was okay as Bob Dylan. But I know this is going to be a hot take here. I thought that everyone else was much better in the film though. Because in this film we do see Elle Fanning, Monica Barbaro, and Edward Norton. As Elle Fanning, she plays Sylvie Russo, who was a love interest to Bob Dylan. Monica Barbaro plays Joan Baez, and Edward Norton plays Pete Seeger. And really, those were the three for me that stood out in their roles, as well as Boyd Holbrook as Johnny Cash. But with the story of this film exploring the life of Bob Dylan, I thought that it did okay with that for the most part. But for me, what stood out about the film was the music. It showing off how this era of music was, showing how people were against folk music, but at the same time seeing folk music start to transition because of Bob Dylan was very interesting to see. And at the same time, I really enjoy seeing how the 1960s looked in this film. It was a very interesting era, and seeing how James Mangold brought it to life was very fascinating. But I cannot lie, there were some moments that felt like it was a bit slow, that dragged a little bit, and it did feel like that there was some unnecessary drama in my opinion. But with how the film was, I thought it was an okay film. Great music, great set designs, and great performances for the most part. I am not entirely sure how accurate this is to what actually happened in Bob Dylan's life, but it was interesting to see how it played out on screen. Overall, with A Complete Unknown, it might have not been my favorite musical biopic, it might have not been my favorite Timothy Chalamet film, but I thought it was a pretty okay film. But have you seen A Great Unknown? If so, what are your thoughts on it? Let me know in the comments below and follow me for more.